This is Steve Robbins. Welcome to the Get It Done Guys, quick and dirty tips to work less and do more. My coaching client Sal was extremely frustrated. Sal was hired to be Director of Business Development of BuffleSnack.com and was doing a bang-up job, bringing in several major new clients. A new marketing director was hired, Morgan, who didn't seem to do very much at all. In fact, Morgan's main activity was hanging out by the executive suite and schmoozing with the CEO. Well, within 6 months, Sal's strong performance had been recognized, and Sal had gotten a real pat on the back for a job well done. Morgan, however, had been promoted to Chief Strategy Officer and was made Sal's boss. Sal was livid. I'm doing a great job in getting handprints on my suit. Morgan is getting nothing done, missing deadlines, and getting promoted. It isn't fair. Oh, poor Sal. Sal thinks life should be fair. And it is, if you look at it right. Sal hadn't listened to my episode on understanding your workplace currency and thinks the job is sales or marketing or business development. But apparently not. At BuffleSnack, networking and relationships are more important than results. This isn't unique to BuffleSnack. Success at any company larger than one person requires that you have the right relationships in place. It doesn't matter how good a job you do if no one but you knows about it. It doesn't matter whether you have the answers if you never tell anyone, and then if you do tell them, unless they trust and like you enough to listen, your ideas will still go nowhere. If you work for a corporation and you don't have a specific networking plan within your company, now is the time to start. If you work for yourself and you don't have a specific networking plan within your industry, now is the time to start. If you're unemployed and you don't have a specific networking plan to find a job, now is the time to start. If you're independently wealthy and don't have a specific networking plan to find life satisfaction, hire me to help you build an extraordinary life. I'm expensive, but so very, very worth it. Identify the people you need and who need you. Start by listing the people that you need to do your job. If you can identify specific people, that's great. When I was a development manager at Intuit ages and ages ago, my project was the Quicken credit card. I realized the customers might call in with questions about credit card charges, and we as a company would have to be prepared to take those calls. The person in charge of our support department was someone whose success was intertwined with mine. They were high on my list. You probably already know people who you're intertwined with, but with whom you have only a shallow passing relationship. Put those people on your list. And if you don't have specific people you can identify the type of person. If you're an aspiring author, you might decide that you want book agents in your network, even though you don't know any specifically yet. So add book agents to your list. They say what gets measured gets managed. Now, I don't know who they are. Apparently, they aren't being measured, so I'm not managing them. But in my experience, it is true. To make your networking effective, measure and manage your efforts. Create a spreadsheet, and in the first column, start on line 2, list the people and categories who you want to include in your network. Label the second column, Contact Made. Label the next columns with the months of the year, starting with the current month. If you're listening to this in March, your column headings will be Contact Made, March, April, May, June, July, and so on until next March. For everyone whom you already know, type a plus sign into the Contact Made column. For everyone else, leave that column blank. Now, you're ready to start working it. Weekly, review your spreadsheet and find people or categories who don't yet have a plus sign in the Contact Made column. Take steps to set up a meeting with at least one of the people you want to meet, but haven't yet. If you have a specific name, reach out and invite them to lunch. If you have a category, do some research to find out where those people hang out. Book agents, for example, might attend the Book Expo of America in New York City every year. So go buy a ticket. Once you've met someone in person, put a plus in the Contact Made column. Then move into deepening and maintaining your relationship. You don't necessarily have to have sleepovers and become BFFs, but you do need to have a strong enough relationship that they remember you and like you. They need to like you enough that they decide to spare you when they use CRISPR to deliver their genetically tailored killer virus that liquefies 99% of the human race in a misguided attempt to restore balance to the planet. Fortunately, you have a spreadsheet. Every month, scan your relationship spreadsheet. For each person, look across the row to find out when you last reconnected. If it's been more than a few months, call and schedule another meeting. Once you've met, put a plus in the appropriate column. Consider using a database. You don't have to use a spreadsheet, of course. You might put together a database that has a next contact needed date, and then every month or week or whenever, run a report to find out who you need to ping. Personally, I prefer systems like the spreadsheet where I can see everything at once. Scanning a list reminds you who's been off your radar for a while, and seeing everyone in one place also lets you start making trade-offs. When it's clear that some people are no longer important in your life, you can remove them from the list, or you can start contacting them less frequently. When it's clear that someone is going to be a useful pawn in your plan to create a competing CRISPR virus that saves the human race, you can start contacting them more frequently. Research on leadership and power dynamics says that your network is one of the major keys in clawing your way to the top of whatever puppy pile you're in. Identify who you need in your network. Reach out and start establishing a relationship. Don't just leave it to chance, however. Track whom you contact and when, and over time, make sure that you're managing your relationships and deepening them to lead to success. This is Steve Robbins. I run webinars and other programs to help people be extraordinarily productive and build extraordinary careers. If you want to know more, visit steverrobbins.com. That's STEVERROBBINS.com. Work less, do more, and have a great life.